What's going on, beautiful people? How you doing out there in YouTube land? I am Wes the Critic, and thank you for watching and tuning in to Wes the Critic here on YouTube, the one place on the World Wide Web where we actually adopt some inclinations despite our differences with regards to whether or not we like a particular film or show, or if we don't like a particular film or show. Okay, I am here to give you my top 10 best movies of 2021 list. And I'm pretty sure that a couple of my films may have made your list, and I'm also sure that quite a few films did not make your list, okay? I have a very particular, specific taste in film and what I consider to be the best. But anyways, hopefully we can adopt similar connections despite our differences. If this is your first time seeing me, definitely follow me on all my social medias, Instagram and Twitter, at Wes the Critic. Okay, let's get into this list. Now, this list is comprised of movies that I enjoyed, movies that came out in 2021, and movies that were released in theaters in 2021. I do have some faves of mine that weren't released in theaters that went strictly to, the online streaming circuit. Resort to Love. I love Resort to Love. Resort to Love got a 61% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 46% Metacritic, and a 5.7 on IMDb. But I don't care. I love Resort to Love. It's a rom-com, okay? With Christina Milian, Cinco Walls, Jay Farwell. It's a great movie. Okay, I loved it. It came out July 29th, directed by Steven Tsuchida, whatever. A story by Tabby McCartney. I liked it. It was produced by Alicia Keys. I'm not really a fan of hers, but this movie was so good. Christina Milian was a great actress in this movie. It's a rom-com, so you have to look at it like that. And the comedy was nice. The men were sexy, and it wasn't like overly predictable to where I was just like, nah. Some rom-coms I can't get through, but it was really good. Another rom-com that I just loved to pieces that could not make this list because it was not released in theaters is Single All the Way, starring the premiere debut for me anyway, the fine Falman Chambers. What? That brother, listen, baby. Anyways, great cast. It was really a lot of moments, but it was so good because it was refreshing to see, an interracial gay couple, and the production was there, and it was treated like an A-list movie for me, and I liked the story. It was cheesy, but it was good cheesy, I wouldn't put Single All the Way above Resort to Love, but it's in the same house, the same category for me because they did not make my top 10. But it was really good. Go check out Single All the Way. Those Who Wish Me Dead with Angelina Jolie, I absolutely adored that movie. A lot of people did not like that movie for whatever reason. I'm not them. I loved the movie. It would have definitely made my top 10 if I was doing, not just theater releases. The Tomorrow War was freaking amazing. Without Remorse, another good film. And another movie that almost made my list was Encanto. Encanto was a good movie. It just wasn't my top 10 worthy. But anyways, let's get into the top 10, shall we? Starting off with number 10, because I'm going down order, with Fast 9. Everybody knows Fast 9. Fast 9 had a 59% on Rotten Tomatoes. Horrible. Starring Vin Diesel, John Cena, Jordana Brewster, Tyrese Gibson, Ludacris, the list goes on and on and on. Michelle Rodriguez. We all know the film. We all love the film. Okay, box office $726.4 million. Okay, the movie was good. Okay, it came during the height of the year. June 25th, 2021, pandemic. We still stuck in the pandemic when I say height of the year. Pandemic is still going on. And it did good for all of the obstacles that it was up against. You know, I like the Fast and Furious series. I didn't particularly care for, you know, the brother storyline with John Cena. I don't see them like brothers. It just doesn't make sense to me. But the action was there. The crazy stunts was there. The component that was missing for me was the heart. I did not get emotional at all watching this movie. It was just hard-hitting action, unbelievable stunts, and I was not convinced that John Cena and Vin Diesel were brothers. Number 9 on my top 10 list of 2021 theater releases is No Time to Die. 83% Rotten Tomatoes, 68% Metacritic, starring Daniel Craig and Rami Malek. Lashana Lynch was really, really good. I can see Lashana Lynch as Storm. I really can. The cast was amazing. I'm not a James Bond fan. I'm not. You know, it took me forever to actually see this film. I was literally at the end before I was like, okay, let me just go see it because it's available and I have my A-list situation. Let me go see it. You know, budget 250 to 300 million. I'm like, is it worth it? Yes. It was number 9 on my list, and it's number 9 on my list because the action is there. The stunts, although somewhat unrealistic, look more realistic than the Fast 9 movie. And it held my attention way more than Fast 9. I loved the story, and I appreciated the diversity in including Lashana Lynch in a pivotal role. And they bounced off each other quite well. It was really nice. I enjoyed the movie. I was like, okay, wow, this is actually pretty good. And the sacrifice at the end was like riveting to watch. I was like, oh, okay, so that's what we're doing with the end. It didn't really sell me on the like emotional factor for me, so it made my 9. It beat out, you know, Fast 9 and made my 9, number 9. The Harder They Fall was a good movie. It got 88% on Rotten Tomatoes, 68% Metacritic, and 6.6 on IMDb. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. You know, amazing cast, $90 million budget, you could tell. Okay, not a lot of people went to the theaters to go see it, but Idris Elba, great. Zazie Beetz, great. Regina King, of course, mwah. Okay, mwah. Okay, and then my baby in my mind, Jonathan Majors, just amazing. The whole cast, off the chain. Now, I have to say, the reason why it's kind of low on my list, it was a great movie, great acting, all that, action, cool, but I wasn't emotionally tied to the film. You know, when certain characters got killed off, I was more in shock, like, what? Like, that was too quick, and I wasn't satisfied with that. So for me, it made number 8. But very good film, really, really good film. I loved it, great acting. I just wasn't emotionally tied to it, so. Number 7 on my list, Raya and the Last Dragon. 94% Rotten Tomato, so it's a fresh tomato. Really, really good. Awkwafina did a great job. The cast, phenomenal. I'm not really gonna go too deep into it, but I love animation, as you'll know and find out as we get into my list. I love animation, and I felt heart in this story. I was connected to the story. I was like, wow, watching this story, right? There were risks, there were great action, great music, performances, score, all of that was amazing. So for me, Raya and the Last Dragon was number 7 on my list. Number 6 on my list, which I'm actually surprised, right? I'm surprised. And this was the last minute entry because I saw this last minute. The Rotten Tomato scores on this movie is horrible. It's The Kingsman. Got a 42% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't understand why. This movie was really, really good. Really good. Action, unbelievable action like Fast 9, but it was done well. So I believed it like No Time to Die, you know? And I was like, oh, no, and shocked. Like, I literally said, oh, are you kidding me? In the theaters when certain things happened. And if you saw that movie, you probably know what I'm talking about. But from the beginning, shedding a tear in the opening to shedding another tear midway through, I was like, whoa, This movie is good because it made me feel in the heart. It got me there. My list, if you're making my list, like my top six, seven, you are making me feel the feels. And you're also amazingly good. Acting great, action great, special effects great, and I felt it. I shed tears in the beginning, shed tears midway. Great film. Go watch The King's Man, okay? My number 6, and like I said, it was a last minute entry because I just saw this movie last week. Just saw it last week. All right, we're getting into the top 5, baby. My top 5 movies. Y'all may be like, why is this movie so low on your list? Spider-Man No Way Home. Spider-Man No Way Home. This is the best Spider-Man movie for me. I loved Spider Into the Spider-Verse. I really did because it was great representation for me to see a black Spider-Man on film. You know, I love movies that I can relate and connect with the characters. I can see me in the character. So diversity matters to people like me, right? People, I think generally speaking, you would love to be able to put yourself in the shoes of the protagonist or antagonist, if that's how you feel, with the movie that you're watching. And if, you know, you don't see you in any of the movies, it's kind of like, you can still be in love with it and still fall in love with it, but you really fall in love with it when you can see yourself. So I love Spider Into the Spider-Verse. But Spider-Man No Way Home for me, because it's a real action, live action, it really got me there, right? It got me there. Great action. It's 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, 71% on Metacritic. We already know who's involved. This was a fan service movie. Completely for the fans. But it was really, really good. I love Tom Holland as an actor. I think he's phenomenal. He always gets me there. And I have to make mention of the movie that he was in. Tom Holland, ever since Spider-Man, really, but ever since I saw, realistically, let me go back. Ever since I saw The Impossible, Tom Holland in The Impossible, at the age he was, stole my heart away. That movie is like top 5 in my top 5 list of all-time favorite movies. If you have not seen The Impossible, you have to see that movie. It is so freaking good. Ever since then, I've been a Tom Holland stan, and he can't do no wrong. Now, some of the movies he's been in have been like, you know, whatever. But him as an actor, always top tier. Spider-Man No Way Home is a great film. My number 5. My number 4. My number 4 film is King Richard. Now, King Richard, 91% Rotten Tomatoes, 76% Metacritic. This film is freaking phenomenal, okay? Starring Will Smith, Anjanou Ellis, John Bernthal, Sanaya Sidney, and Demi Singleton. Great job. Great job, okay? It did $26.2 million in the box office. The budget was $50 million. Listen, Will Smith does no wrong in my book. He is a phenomenal actor. And the reason why this movie is so high up on my list is because we get to see a father-daughter dynamic that we rarely see, okay? And what I loved so much about this film is that it showcased the love that parents have for their kids, you know? And me growing up in a single parent household, it was great for me in this film to see the father and the mom still there, riding it out, you know, how they defended their daughters with the neighbors, how their both parents were always trying to instill greatness in their kids. I loved seeing that. And there were moments in this film where I was crying. Like the moment between Sanaya and Will Smith on the tennis court, bawled. The moment where the mom went to the neighbor and said, "Don't you ever again in your life," bawled. Because I've never had, you know, my parents didn't really ride for me like that in my life. So it was amazing seeing these parents ride for their kids. Completely adored and thoroughly enjoyed King Richard. Great acting. Great acting. Will Smith, phenomenal. Sanaya, phenomenal. The whole cast, phenomenal. My number 3 film, like there's no way this film is not in anybody's top 5 in 2021. It's just no way. unfortunately, Grace Randolph neglected to, put this in her film. She's doing the, the Oscar award contenders and all that. Great, I guess, fine. I guess this doesn't make the Oscar window or awards window. But there's no way this film is not in anybody's top 5. And if it isn't, I don't know what you're smoking, what you got going on. But A Quiet Place 2 is freaking phenomenal. And John Krasinski, John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, if they're not gonna be Mr. and Mrs. Fantastic, what's going on? Why? Why are we offering them $50 million per film? I don't know. But John Krasinski can do no wrong in my book. Emily Blunt is amazing in this movie. Millicent Simmons and Noah Jupe. Listen, freaking phenomenal film. It's real, it's heart-wrenching, the feels, the emotion is there. I'm crying throughout not the whole film, but I'm crying through it. Mom and dad saving kids, kids going for the mom and dad, like family, King Richard, family, A Quiet Place 2, freaking phenomenal. And just listen, I don't think y'all understand how good this movie is, but Shang-Chi, wow. 91% Rotten Tomatoes, 71% Metacritic score, 432 in the box office. Listen, wow. I like what's Kim's Convenience? I think that's the name of the show. I like the show. I like damn, what is his name? Simu Liu. I like him. I like him a lot. I know China is having their issues because he made comments about the Chinese government and whatever. Okay, whatever. China's doing a lot, but Spider-Man No Way Home still became a $1 billion film without China. Anyways, I loved Shang-Chi. It was so good that it made my number 2. When I say it was so good, Shang-Chi was like watching a real live anime. If my camera don't get it together. It was like watching a real live anime. And not for 1 second did I feel like the people, they were on green screen, blue screen. Not for 1 second. The whole entire movie, I'm like, yo, that's real life. That's real life. Those Pokemon creatures, that's real life right there. Wow. The battle with the dragon flying all around. I was like, this is happening on Earth. Whoa. The bus scene, forget about it. And you can tell me that Simu Liu did not know how to fight in real life. Even the wire work with the martial arts, I was like, this is not like I'm watching like people being carried around with yarn attached to their hips. You could not tell. And I loved that that's what made the film for me stand out immensely, was the fact that the entire film looked like it was done in real life. All the way from the beginning, all the way to the end in that fantasy fight. And then you give me an anime style, fighting action style in real life, and it looks so good, and you give me the feels? What? Ain't no way you cannot be in my top 3. There's just no way. There's no way you cannot be in my top 3. But listen, my number 1 film, and y'all are kind of probably gonna be like, what? My number 1 film, you heard the enthusiasm that I had for Shang-Chi and the enthusiasm that I have for Shang-Chi. Let me tell you, My Hero Academia came out in October. What? Now, if you're not into anime, I don't know what's wrong with you in your life. I don't know what you need to have happen. You need a lollipop, whatever you need. Maybe one day somebody can get it for you. But anime, good anime has solid action, a little humor. I'm not here for the slapstick humor of anime every 2 seconds of the cartoon. I'm not here for it. But slight humor, but good anime has great action, like I said, and it gets you in the heart. Every time I watch Boruto, it gets me in the heart. Naruto Shippuden gets me in the heart. Good anime, My Hero Academia gets me in the heart. And I watched that film great action, great story, great writing, and it got me in the heart. And I was like, listen here. Listen here. This was good. If you have not watched My Hero Academia, The World's Heroes Mission, came out in October 2021, you're doing yourself a disservice. Now, I know that there are a lot of films out there that I didn't mention. I saw a lot of films. I saw a lot of films this year. A lot of films I did not mention because I just wasn't here for it. I really didn't care. Like The Matrix was horrible. It's a horrible film. Horrible film. Venom, Let There Be Carnage, I wasn't really caring for it. There were a lot of films that I just did not care for. But the reason why a lot of these films did make my top 10 list is because I'm an action guy. I like action guy. But second to action, I'm heart. I love heart. I love films have to make me feel something. And I ride for the protagonist. So I'm team protagonist all the way. So if a film has great action and it gives me the feels, and then on top of that, you sprinkle on the acting, the cinematography, you know, the directing, the writing, all of that, that's when you know I'm there. I'm there, baby, I'm there. Let me know what your top 10 list is in the comments. I would love to know. If there are theater releases, hit me up with your top 10. And what in my list don't you agree with or you agree with? Or are there any films that you did not see that I mentioned that now you're interested and curious in? Let me know, leave the comments below, and let's get this film to 50 likes. If we get this film to 50 likes, I will do my top 10 worst films list. If we get this film to 50 likes, hit me up in the comments, like this video, subscribe. Thank y'all for watching. Deuces.